think it's time for me to make this video that I promised so many of you guys. A lot of y'all messaged me, commented in videos asking me what my honest opinion was about the C6 Corvette. Actually, several of you guys actually even told me that you were in the market for one. So hopefully this video is not too late, and you know, maybe I can help with your decision. Here's the car. So this car right here is a 2007 C6 Corvette, and it has had an LS3 engine swap on it with a built T56 and just basic exhaust, long tube headers, X-pipe, and full exhaust. That's literally all that's done to this car. And I'll tell you guys, so far I've really enjoyed this. I mean, it has been an absolute blast of a car. Such a well-balanced machine. Honest, I mean, obviously it doesn't have like a crazy amount of horsepower, right? But for what it is, it runs really hard. So here's the engine. Very reliable, and at least it has been so far for me, and I've treated it pretty hard, man. Every time I drive it hard. Obviously a lot of good cargo space. Actually, it's a lot of cargo space, especially when you compare it to my other cars. Let's go ahead and start off by telling you guys my most favorite things about the car. First things first, and it is going to be the most obvious, and it is going to come down to the handling of the car. Man, you know, I have the Supras, both Supras. I have different style suspensions. I got the Mustang on the drag suspension, the Eclipse. I had a decent suspension back then, but either way, this car here handles unbelievably well. And this is on a factory suspension, you guys. This is not aftermarket. This is factory. It's lower just on the factory bolts, but it handles like a dream. And I'm talking about whether it's going, you know, regular city driving, or you're kind of pushing excess speeds in the Mexican roads, it handles amazing. I cannot stress it enough just how well the car handles. I can't compare it to anything so far, and I've driven a few amount of cars. The next thing that I'll tell you guys that I love so much about it, and of course, before I say this, please keep in mind that I come from a platform where everything has been turbocharged in order to get the power up, right? So I've always had to wait for that boost to build up. This one being an NA, for now, I'll tell you, it has power at any RPM, whether it's at 1500, 2000, 3000 RPM, you floor it and it goes. I mean, it is absolutely incredible, especially for it being a stock car. It has a ton of power no matter what RPM you're in. So very nice. Obviously with the T56 here, you can enjoy that cruise. You know, I'm a huge fan of the TH400, but in a car like this, I don't think I could ever do that. Something like this, in my opinion, has to stay a 6-speed. Now the next thing is that the car is super light, and I think the car being so light is one of the reasons why the car is still so fast. I mean, this car probably makes maybe around 450-ish horsepower, around there, I'm assuming, maybe 470, but it runs like if it had like 550, 600 horsepower on any other car. For example, like this feels the way my Mustang would feel like on 600 horsepower, and it pulls like it too. It pulls hard for a, you know, exhaust setup car. That's all it has. Very lightweight. I mean, obviously the car is extremely aerodynamic, right? I mean, you look at it and it just looks like a freaking arrow trying to cut through the freaking wind. So I know that helps a lot. Whether you guys want to believe in aerodynamics or not, it's definitely true, especially when it comes to a car like this. I mean, look at that damn thing. It's like it's like an arrow, bro. It's just freaking sweet ass car. The only thing that I did to it, I got an EOS carbon fiber front lip, EOS carbon fiber side skirts, and EOS carbon fiber wing. That's all that's done to this car. I mean, aside from the wheels, but besides that, it is a factory car. Sound that a Corvette makes, you just can't really compare it to anything. I know this car is not cammed, at least not yet, but even with a full exhaust, they sound absolutely incredible. I mean, y'all listen to this. that's with traction off. That was traction on, I'm sorry. I mean, these cars can be drift cars, they can be drag cars, they can be dailies, they can be whatever you want them to be. Whew, I mean, just rolling through the gears in a freaking Corvette, bro. Oh, that in itself is such a sweet thing to do. And before I forget, one of the biggest things that I freaking love about this car, and of course, now keep in mind, I come from, you know, the mod motor world, from the Cobra, the Supra, 2JZ. Those engines are really expensive. Everything for those cars is expensive. So for example, I spent like $3 grand on parts for the Supra that for this car would cost me $800. So I'm going from I'm coming from a platform where I was spending thousands, and now I can get the same thing for this car for hundreds. So I understand that you initially will make a little bit of a bigger investment into the car, but when it comes down to modifying the car, upgrades, things like that, this is gonna give you the best bang for your buck, because it's a lot cheaper than other cars, and the car is more than likely going to perform better than the other cars. Let's go ahead and touch base on a few things that I'm not a fan of on the car. This is gonna sound kind of dumb, right? Because I know most people don't get a Corvette to have their family in it. But I wish it had some back seats. You know, I think it would be cool if it had some back seats. I mean, even like the Supra and the Mustang, they're small, but there's still something back there in case I wanted to bring one of my kids or something. I mean, I guess I could just throw him in the back. He could just hide in the trunk. Now, the next thing that I'm not the biggest fan of on the car, it is a major gas guzzler. It wastes so much fuel. Whether I'm flooring it, whether I'm driving it normal, I feel like that needle moves and moves and moves. I think this should be one of the biggest deciding factors for you, whether you should buy one of these cars or not because you like it or you don't like it, but really because of where you live. And that is just how low the car is to the ground. And I'm not talking about when you lower it, the car itself is just ridiculously low. Whenever you look under the car, the body is like so close to the ground. The radiator support so close to the ground. And then when you add a lip and you add side skirts, dude, you are asking for it if you live in a bad area with bad roads. For example, right now where I'm going, I'm only going on roads that I know are okay, that are decent, because I know it is going to hit somewhere with like a bad road or a bad dip or something. For example, like the speed bumps, you know, those speed bumps that they put in some neighborhoods that are kind of tall, dude, the side skirts hit. I go over slow and then you can hear it going. So, and again, the car's not like slammed on aftermarket coilovers, anything like that. This is a factory car. She's all full. It does take premium, and premium's kind of expensive now. I think it's more expensive than, yeah, it is. Premium is 50 cents more expensive than diesel, so I guess that's another thing that kind of sucks. I mean, obviously that's going to be depending on your tune. You don't have to run 93, that also depends on where you live. But for me, the way I drive, the higher octane I can get, the better. Another thing here, as far as space, you know, for your wallet, not the biggest amount of space. Honestly, it's kind of small, but I mean, it's a sports car, dude. I mean, you could always get like a little bag and just chunk it in the back there. I'm gonna show you guys what it can do off a dig, but I don't want any cars around me. I ain't trying to do anything reckless or stupid. All right, looks like I got some space here. I'm gonna do a quick 1-2. So it spins, you know, initially it starts spinning a little bit, but dude, the way it's picking up speed, the traction is still solid, man. I guess to sum it up for you guys, man, do I think it's a good idea? Do I think it's a good purchase? Absolutely, right? I mean, as you guys already heard me, the cons are very, very minor, very basic shit, which, I mean, honestly, to some of you guys, they may not even be cons. You may not even want back seats. You don't mind, you know, you don't mind lower MPGs, because at the end of the day, it is a sports car, right? Nobody's gonna buy a... Damn that train. I'm gonna turn the AC on. Nobody's gonna buy a freaking Corvette to get good gas mileage, right? So I mean, those are the only things I could really think of to say something bad, because I mean, God, I mean, to be completely honest with you, it's hard to find something bad about this car. It's just a very, very good, very nice platform, strong engines, strong transmissions, and you know, to build off of something like this, dude, I can't even imagine what you guys can build these cars to, right? You can get a basic cam and, you know, pro charger setup, and boom, 700 horsepower easy, obviously with the good fuel system and a clutch, but it doesn't take that much. So I think that if you can afford to get into one of these, definitely do it. It is a great idea, and I think these are cars that are going to retain their value. Maybe, I mean, depending on which model you get, possibly even increase in value in time. So I mean, I think it's going to be a good investment, and you're going to have a lot of fun with it. And just, I don't know, man, I don't see how you can go wrong with something like this. So I say, if you can do it, have fun, knock yourself out. Hope this video has helped you guys out somewhat. If there's anything in particular that you want to know, please leave it in the comments. I will respond to you, and you know, hopefully I can help out with your purchase of your new C6 Corvette, or whether you do or you don't buy it. I mean, as long as it helped you in some way. But I'll go ahead and let you guys go, man, and I'll catch you on the next video. Later.